I'm Lucy Mason. I'm head of the government's Defence and Security Accelerator. That's a new organisation that was set up to bring together defence and security and help accelerate new ideas and innovation into government. As head of the Defence and Security Accelerator, my main role has been to come in and set up that team from scratch. So I've built the team, I've been setting strategy and vision for what we're doing, securing the business case, making sure that we've got funding, organisational design. It's really been create an organisation from nothing. In my first few months of leading, I found a lot of leadership challenges. Firstly, just lack of time. It's really, really hard to find time for everything everyone wants you to do. And so you really have to focus on where you're going to put your attention, what's the most important thing. Then there's a kind of managing the high expectations of you. You can't pretend to be an expert in things that you don't know about yet. It's perfectly fine just to say you don't know the answers to that. And thirdly, dealing with self-doubt. You don't necessarily know what direction you're taking people in, but you want them to trust you and build those relationships. In terms of overcoming those challenges, managing my time was a really difficult thing for me. People wanted me to be visible to them all the time, and some of that's about managing their expectations of how much of me they're going to be able to see, and some of it was about better diary management, so saying no to things. Really, really important to say no to things. I've been head of the Defence and Security Accelerator for 18 months now, and in that time I've built the team. We're now nearly 50 people, and so my leadership style has had to change over that time. I've built this amazing group of people around me. It's been more about delegating to others, empowering them to do their jobs. I've done a lot more public-facing kind of work, so that's been a challenge to me in itself, which I've actually really enjoyed, but as an introvert does not come easily to me, so it's been a lot of practice. I really believe in personal leadership development. I think it's really important. We should all do much more of it. That was one of the things that I really didn't have a lot of time for in my first few months in role. I did sign up to do Deputy Director's Base Camp, which was amazing. I also went to one of the immersive leadership sessions, which was a really, really interesting experience, and not least just for the networking opportunities of meeting other deputy directors and sharing with them. I think what's really important about leadership is trying to project an air of confidence even when you don't necessarily feel it. And I think lots of women particularly can struggle with this and can come across as really lacking in confidence, even if inside perhaps they are very confident. But culturally we sort of have expectations of how women look and behave that don't always meet our expectations of how leaders look and behave. I've been fortunate to have many great role models in my career, but one who stands out is Sarah Thornton. She's currently Chief Executive of the National Police Chiefs Council and formerly was Chief Constable of Thames Valley Police. And I was very fortunate to work for her quite early in my career, and she gave me such great advice, particularly in the area of emotional intelligence, which is something I've really developed a lot over the last 10 years. One tip for leaders new to the senior civil service is remembering to show appreciation for the work that other people are doing for you. So take the time to thank people for their work. It's appreciated much more than you probably think it is. But also I've learned, don't expect anyone to thank you for the work that you're doing. Really listen to other people, take the time to learn, don't be too hard on yourself when you don't get things right. Just move on, learn the lessons from it, and really focus your time and attention on those things which are really going to matter in the long run. The future civil service probably needs a slightly different type of leader, but for me it's about being a sort of humble leadership, but being very collaborative, very communicative in how you work with things, and really getting away from this sort of more authoritative style. I would love to see a future civil service that makes much better use of technology, and I think a much more diverse civil service is needed that is able to incorporate lots of different backgrounds and perspectives into how we think about things.